Okay, so we are going to discuss about the problem broken queries. Just put it here, which was there in 994 division 2. So the question is saying us, first of all, like it is an interactive problem in which we have given a binary array of length n, which we need to interact to know like what is the array, and it contains exactly 1 1 and all other elements are 0. Then we have an value k also, and if like what will be the queries, we are giving it some l and r, and it will give the sum of the array in that range. Okay, and if this range is basically less than k, then what will be the sum that we will get? Otherwise we will get as 1 minus that sum, that means wrong one. We have two sub like 0 or 1, and then if our range is within k, then we will get the right one, otherwise we will get the wrong one. And we have only 33 queries, so it was very clear that after seeing the question, it is a binary search problem. But the thing is how we are going to apply that, right? So as n is I think 2 to the power 30, so that means 30 will definitely 30 queries will be asked while we are doing binary search on this n. Remaining 3, we have 3 more queries which we can use definitely. So the thing is like we have 1 1, right, and all other elements are 0, let's suppose this. So the first thing we need to find is the 1, about the 1. Is it in, like, suppose we have an array, if we are going to divide it in n by 2, right? Because in binary search we are doing this thing. So if in any ways we are going to find whether 1 lies in this one or this one, then things were very clear after that, right? Suppose we find that 1 is in this one, then we know that all of these elements are 0, right? And then we can apply that k thing, this one, very easily, because if we are getting here 1, that means it is wrong because all the elements are 0, and if we are getting here 0, that means it's correct. That means k will definitely be greater than n by 2, or maybe equals to also, because then because we are giving this range n by 2 and we get the right one, so definitely k will be greater than n by 2 because this is less than k. Okay, so the first thing we need to find whether 1 lies in this one or this one. So how we are going to find that? We can find that easily by like divide this. Suppose we just take the first one and divide this in two parts, 1 to n by 4 and then n by 4 to n by 2. Okay, suppose we are getting from here 0 and from here also 0. K is anything, so because we are giving n by 4 range here also, so even if like it will give right or wrong, that doesn't matter here because the range is same. So if it will give wrong, then both the things will be wrong, and if it will give right, then both the things will be right. Okay, so suppose we got 0 and 0, both the things are 0. Suppose k is less than n by 4, means it will give us wrong one, so that means this will also be 1, this will also be 1. Okay, and that's simply not possible because we just have only 1 1, all other elements are 0, so this thing is not possible. Let's take a new page. We are dividing the query in two parts, 1 n by 4, n by 4, n by 2, and we are suppose getting 0 0. So if k is wrong, I mean k is less than n by 4, that means this both the things will be wrong. That means this sum is also this sub array sum, basically a1 to n by 4 and a n by 4 to n by 2, both the sum is 1. That is not possible because 1 is only 1 time in the array. So in both the sub array we didn't get 1 because then there will be two ones, right? So this is wrong, this is not possible. So if you are getting 0 0, that means both the array doesn't contain anyone in the sense any ones. Yeah, that means exactly 1 so anyone. That means this is also doesn't contain 1 and this is also doesn't contain 1. That means 1 will be in n by 2 to n. And if you are getting suppose 1 1, right, so then again there must like k will be less than n by 4 because we again didn't get 1, so this is wrong answer. That means 1 minus sl comma r, and that simply means k will be greater than k will be less than equals to range, right? That means this range is greater than k, so k will be lies between n by 4. That we will see later. This we are going to find 1. So if these both the things are same, that means k is not in 1 is not in this part, 1 is in another part. And if both things are different, suppose in first we are getting 0 and in second we are getting 1, so what does that mean? That means there will be 100% surety that 1 is in somewhere this part of sub array, because we are getting 1 1. Suppose again if this k is less than n by 4, that means we are getting wrong 1. Then also like this one, this will be 1 and this will be 0, because both the sub array's length is n by 4. So if we are getting wrong, then we will get wrong for both the queries, 1 to n by 4 and n by 4 to n by 2, right? So if you are getting different, that means there must be 1 1 in this 1 1 to n by 2. There must be 1 in somewhere this, because for 1 we are getting 0, for 1 we are getting 1. Even if this is wrong, that means k is less than this range, we are getting wrong answer. Then also this one be 1, this will be 1 and this will be 0. So again 1 is in it somewhere. So at first we will get like whether 1 is lies between 1 to n by 2 or n by 2 to n. So we have surpassed our first thing by calling two queries, 1 to n by 4 and then n by 4 to n by 2. Now I've seen like a lot of solutions where we call the third query also somewhere like n by 2 to 3 n by 4, but we can skip this one. We can easily find this by this, like we just need to find whether 1 lies in this or this. Now our first thing is completed. We will go to our second thing, how we are going to find k. Okay, so now what we will do, now as we can see that 1 is in this one, suppose 1 is in this one, then we will call one query 1 to n by 2. Okay, if we are getting 1, as we know 1 is in this, and if we are getting the queries answer as 1, that means k is definitely greater than equals to n by 2, because we are getting the right answer. That means k doesn't lie between this range, k must be greater than this. And if that maybe confuse someone. So now first thing is clear that k will be definitely greater than equals to n by 2, and if we are getting 0, as 1 is in between this, so sum must be 1 and we are getting 0. That means the range must be less than k. That means n by 2 is greater than k, right? Sorry, range must be greater than k. That's why we are getting the wrong answer, because sum should be 1, because 1 is in this part of sub array, but we are getting 0. That means k will definitely be less than n by 2. Okay, now coming to the third part, suppose we are getting 0, that means wrong answer, and wrong answer definitely means that k less than n by 2. Now we will apply binary search. We will take a low one is 2, because in the question it is given that k will always be greater than 2 and will less than equals to n by n minus 1, and hi will be n by 2, because we have find na ki k will be less than or maybe equals to, because wrong one, when we are getting wrong, then it was like less than equals to as given in the question. So hi will be n by 2, and then we will apply binary search simply while l less than equals to hi, we can find the mid, and then on that mid, now the main thing is arises, how we can call that check function where we will check. So it is very clear that 1 to n by 2, the part of this subarray contain 1, and n by 2 to n, that part of subarray doesn't contain 1. So if we are going to call this one, I mean if we are checking 1 to mid, then there might be chances that it can give us 1, it can give us 0, because 1 is in this. So we can't make sure whether k is right or wrong. But in this part of subarray, we don't have 1. All values are 0. So if we are getting 1, that means wrong, and if we are getting 0, that means right. So that we can do very simply, right? Because in this part we have 1 also, that might confuse us, because sometimes we get 1, sometimes we get 0, and we can't say whether 1 is in this or not. But in this part of subarray, all the elements are 0, right? And if all the elements are 0 and we are getting 1, that means this is wrong. I hope that will be clear. You can add something in comment section. And if we are getting 0, that means it's correct. Okay, so how we will call? We didn't call this for now, as we know that 1 to n by 2 we have this. So how we will call, how we are going to call this? We will call the query, that means that print, whatever you guys can say, question mark, and then n minus mid plus 1 to n, because we will check from last, so that all the elements can contain 0 in that. And if we are getting right, that means k must be what? K will be mid, and it should be less than mid. Hi will be mid minus 1, and if we are getting it what? Wrong, then k should be greater than mid, obviously. That means yellow, you can say mid plus 1. I hope this thing is clear, because again let me explain it again. We have these two parts of subarray 1 to n by 2, n by 2 to, and we know that this part contains 1, this part doesn't contain 1, and we want to know about k in n by 2 only, because we know that k is less than n by 2, right? And suppose if we call this query in this part, then sometimes we get 1, sometimes we get 0. It might be that that part of subarray contains 1, because we still are not sure that index of 1 is what, right? But in this part all the elements are 0. So if we are getting the query's answer as 1, that means sum of that subarray that made to some point, I don't know, maybe anything, some point, sp means some point. Yeah, so if at some point we are getting that what we can say, subarray sum is 0, that means it's correct. Subarray sum is 1, that means it is wrong. Okay, so we can easily say that what we need to, if you are getting it right, that means k will must be greater than mid, and otherwise k will less than mid, because if it is getting right, that means that range must be less than k, so k will be greater than mid. Okay, there you can like simplify it here. And yeah, the same thing we will do for others also. We have like 2 to 4 if else conditions. First here 1 lies between 1 to n by 2, then 1 lies between n by 2 to n, and for this we have two parts. If this query getting 0, this query getting 1, then how to handle, same for this. So I have explained it for 1, you can get it for all 3 of those also in the same way. The part which contains 0, okay, let me explain one more thing. When k will be greater than equals to n by 2, then how can you handle, because here it was less than n by 2, so all the elements are 0, so we can handle it easily. But if it is greater than n by 2, then we know that only n by 2 parts doesn't contain 0, but it is greater than n by 2, so it will take some from this also. So now how can we make sure, because this part always contain 1, and if it is greater than n by 2, then we'll always include this thing again. Now sum will always be 1. If we are getting 0, that means wrong. The same way, we will always make sure that our sum will either be 1 always or either be 0, so that we can call the queries wisely. Okay, I will add the code in comment section with a few comments also. You can check it out. Thank you.